रहे हैं CNI न्यूज़ और मैं हूँ सैयद आबिद काज़मी। आपको ये बताता चलूँ कि गुज़श्ता दिनों में 2 ऐसे वाक़यात हुए बर्मिंघम की मसाजिद के बाहर, जहाँ को आग लगाई गई थी और दूसरे को यहाँ के जो नौजवान थे, यंग टीनेजर, उन्होंने तशद्दुद का निशाना बनाया था। उसके पेश नज़र यहाँ आज मीटिंग बुलाई गई है। जितने भी मुस्लिम कम्यूनिटीज़ के मुख्तलिफ ममालिक से तल्लुक़ रखने वाले यहाँ जो ब्रिटिश लोग हैं, उनकी मीटिंग हुई है। क्योंकि हमारे ब्रिटिश मुस्लिम जो नौजवान हैं वो काफ़ी जज्बाती हुए थे, उनको अवेयरनेस पैदा की गई है उनके दरमियान के अगर इस किस्म के वाक़यात दोबारा होते हैं तो उनसे कैसे निपटा जाए और अपने जज्बात को वो कैसे कंट्रोल करें। इस दौरान हमारे साथ मीटिंग में जो लोग मौजूद हैं, उन्होंने गुफ्तगू की है। आपको सुनाते हैं उन्होंने क्या
My name is Shreen Mahmood, and I'm here at this meeting in response to the recent Islamophobic attacks that happened in King's Heath. Unfortunately, I think we've known this here in the UK that Islamophobia is on the rise. As a female, somebody who's visibly Muslim, of course, this is very important for us to get involved with as well. I'm World Hijab Day Ambassador for the UK, and I can say that the sisters actually deal with a lot of Islamophobia day in, day out. It's very tragic to see such a horrible incident happen to a elderly gentleman of our community. I grew up in Kingsley, so it's very, very sad to see. But I think rather than our community be knee-jerk on these, incidents, we actually have to be proactive before these things come to hand. There has to be collaborative efforts. There has to be a working together sort of environment to discuss proper strategy on how we're going to, improve things and make it more of a secure and safe environment for our families, especially during Ramadan. It's the 10th year anniversary since Muhammad Salim was brutally murdered here in Small Heath as well. So I think it's very important for us all to come together collectively and do something about this.
We called upon a meeting to address the issues of the increase of Islamophobia in our community and the hate crimes, which many of you are fully aware of what's happened to the 2 uncles. It's about respecting the rights of the family and asking our community to come and calm down. Now, alhamdulillah, they've made some arrests and hopefully let the law do what it's paid to do and not to take the law into our own hands. But today's meeting was about that and many other issues in our community, which is issues of neglect by every authority, from the police to the council to the councillors to the MPs. It's come to a stage now that we as a community are saying no more. We need change, and change would only come when we demand change, not ask for change. We're not asking for a change now, we're demanding change. I recently had my first child, and I say to myself, I love my child. But if I raise them in this current situation in our current community with the increase of beggars, prostitution, rubbish, what type of father am I? So I feel that we need to take responsibility. We need to educate our community because the rubbish that we've been finding in our community is thrown by us.
सब इकट्ठे हुए हैं क्योंकि for the last few years religious hate crimes against Muslims are the most highest recorded hate crimes. हम जो हैं वो क्या बताऊं, हम तंग आए हुए हैं. हमारी बहनों को थूका जाता है, उनके हिजाब उतारे जाते हैं. हमारे बुजुर्ग जो फजर से वापस आते हैं उनको किक मार के फेंक जाते हैं. बंदे even to an extent हमारे बुजुर्गों को आग लगा रहे हैं. अभी हम ये डिमांड कर रहे हैं, जो अथॉरिटी है, जो पुलिस है, जो लोकल कम्युनिटी है, इनिशिएटिव आप खुद करें, खुद आगे आएं.
As I say, today there's just no respect on the street for anybody. Like, no one's treating anybody with care. They're just doing anything that they want. And I believe when we grew up, our parents used to tell us how to respect people, how to greet people, say hello to them. Like, nowadays, people are just hitting on people. Yeah, and we need to get together. All communities need to get together, and they need to stop this as soon as possible, because if they don't, it's going to get worse. So I say today it was a good thing coming here, because we can all talk together, we can all learn about things that are going on, because some of us have come from different areas and we're not aware of what's happening in other areas. But as we come today and we hear what's going on, alhamdulillah, hopefully from this meeting today, something will be solved.
Islamophobia is within the actual incumbent party, Labour Party themselves. Many people aren't aware that there is rampant Islamophobia within the ruling party of Birmingham, which is Labour. I'm not affiliated with any political group. I'm apolitical at the moment. But to see what's happening, our councillors are always following party lines, so they're always about the party and not the people. They were voted in to represent the people of Small Heath. Yet at this moment in time, representation of Small Heath and Small Heath people is absolutely non-existent with our local councillors. They need to actually forward our concerns, listen to what we are saying. But if you actually look at the track record of the councillors for Birmingham that we've elected, there's nothing that they've done for the people of Small Heath. Not just these councillors, but previous councillors. It's been happening over years, and this is the wake-up call now. What's happened in Kings Heath could easily happen in Small Heath.
These meetings are sometimes just like box ticking. You get a meeting and then nothing happens, and then you have another meeting down the line and nothing happens. We have a lot of issues that people need to focus on and unite themselves on, and not just turn up and say a few words and then go away. There's a lot of rubbish on the streets. There's a lot of potholes on the street. Out of this rubbish, you get a lot of rats coming out. They go into your cars and they rip your cables, and you end up paying thousands of pounds for your cars. And I don't know why a councillor wasn't here to be accountable and to tell us why they're not doing anything about these areas. These areas are turned into ghettos. Also, the HMOs, they bring in a lot of people from outside the area. They don't integrate them into this area, and about the people who live here, and about what it is they need to do to be integrated into these areas. And then what you end up doing is you've got people who are vulnerable. They live in these houses. Sometimes young people, sometimes you don't know who they are. They could be criminals, they could be vulnerable people. There is no support for these people, and all they do is they end up antagonizing the residents of these areas, and then lining up on the street to buy drugs from the streams of cars that come driving in.